When I first started investing in real estate, I started buying properties right here on Long Island in my own backyard. Long Island has great appreciation. The struggle is rent to price ratio and volume of availability. Meaning, if you buy a property here, you're going to leave a lot of money in the deal and you're not going to make that great of a return. It is highly appreciating though. So in order to hit my goals, which is high cash flow, I realized I need to go to another market. So here are the steps that I took to select my next market. All right, so step number one when selecting a market is you're going to want to ask yourself the question, what are my goals? All right, and this is going to greatly vary. My goals are high cash flow via the BRRRR method. All right, so this greatly dictates my market of selection. If your goal is high appreciation or something else, that's going to look very different than using the BRRRR method for high cash flow. So there are 380 MSAs in the United States. What is an MSA? An MSA is a metro statistical area. All right, so of those, about 50%, if you break it down, 50% are landlord friendly, 50% are not landlord friendly. First thing we're gonna do, non-landlord friendly, cross right off the list. So that's gonna narrow our list of selection down to about 50%. So you're looking at about 185 or so areas that you could pick from. The next question we're gonna ask is, do my numbers work? All right, so what does that mean? So in order to BRRRR successfully, you need ARV, which is after repair value, to be at an amount that allows you to cash out and get your money back. So for example, if you buy a property for $50,000 and it needs $25,000 worth of work, but it's only worth $75,000 after, well, it does you no good because you can't get your money back out. General guideline is about 75% LTV of a cash out refi, which means in that scenario, the home would need to have an ARV of $100,000 to recoup your $75,000 back out. Next point, rent to price ratio. All right, so rent to price ratio is extremely important. I generally like to be at around 1.7%. It's not a made up number. It's something that you really need to research and see, okay, if I buy for this amount, right? So what is my buying number? And then what is my rent number? All right, and that's gonna give you your rent to price ratio. And this ultimately ensures that you're able to cash flow a substantial amount of money once you do cash out on the property. So 2 points. One, you want to be able to get your money back out, and two, you want to be able to cash flow after taking your money back out. Next question you want to ask yourself is there volume in this market? And this is obviously a very important question because you can have the rent to price ratio, ARV, everything down pat, but if you don't have volume, you really don't have anything. All right, so two very simple tools to be able to determine rent to price ratio. Is it going to work and is the volume there, are going to be HUDuser.gov, which is a federal guidelines for every single zip code across America and their fair market rent. All right, and then two, just Redfin, Zillow, whichever it may be. So once you've identified this is what I could pay for a property and still cash flow, simply go to Zillow, go to Redfin, whichever website it is that you use, and just do a quick search and see what's going on in that area. Is it feasible to buy a property with repairs at this amount where I still cash flow? If the answer is yes, I would proceed. If the answer is no, you're going to be wasting your time. All right, next is trends. So I want to know what's going on in this market. Is there population growth? Is there job growth? Job diversity is key too. So if you see medical, that's normally a good indication of a type of profession that you want to see in an area. Right? Is there new buildings being built, right? Is that bringing new jobs in? All very important. Next is you're going to want to see crime rate. So crime's going to be everywhere. It's just a matter of what areas in the area have less crime. And then development. So the best way to do this is to call the Economic Planning Development Division. They're going to give you all the information that you need. So for example, when I selected St. Louis, I called. So I know Boeing is building a $2 billion facility, okay? So this is very important because I know it's gonna bring job growth, it's gonna bring development to the area. These are things that you wanna know and understand. All right, and you'll be surprised. When you call, they'll talk to you, they'll tell you everything that's going on because they want you to invest there. All right, and the last thing you're gonna wanna check is your extended team. So if you hit all of these, right, generally speaking, if the volume is there, you won't have this problem, but you do want to check what is my extended team like. So you have contractors, you have lenders, you have real estate agents, wholesalers. What is this area like of these people I'm going to be working with? Is it plentiful? Am I in farmland USA where I'm going to have one contractor to pick from? These are all very important. So once you've gone over and said, hey, my goals are this, right? These are the markets that I have to pick from. Do my numbers work? Is there volume here for me to hit my goals, right? What are the trends? Is it growing population, job growth, crime rate okay, development that's going on in the area? And I've determined that my extended team is possible. I take the next steps and look into this market. That's how I go about selecting my markets and where I want to put my money.